Gordon Darcy, expect the unexpected in Leinster versus Northampton clash. Rugby in the early days of professionalism was a beautiful blend of simplicity and passion. The game was straightforward, players earned modest salaries, and dreams of wealth were far from anyone's mind. Back then, the thrill of the game was enough, and the financial stakes were low. You could see this reality reflected in the car parks of Donnybrook and Anglesey Road on training and match days, where I often found myself walking or catching the bus. Take Shane Horgan, for instance, who drove a car with one door painted a different color than the rest. And then there was Brian O'Driscoll, who sponsored Toyota Celica, was the envy of many, admired for its sleek design. It was a far cry from the sponsorship deals and luxury vehicles we see today. As players, we often had to change in the back of our cars, as we didn't have access to the changing rooms just a stone's throw away. That access came later, but it serves as a reminder of how far the game has come in the last 3 decades. Back then, the club was everything. Success was a vague concept, and we were all just trying to find our footing. Many of us came from GAA backgrounds, where hurling and Gaelic football were the mainstays of our youth. This blend of sports often showed up on the rugby pitch, with players attempting overhead catches and taking pot shots at the crossbar with a rugby ball. Shane Horgan, for example, often tried to mimic Trevor Giles' scoring finesse, though that's where the comparison ended. Yet, Shane's aerial skills were immortalized in rugby history with his iconic catch against England in Croke Park, a moment that would have made Giles proud. This past weekend, Meath's victory over Dublin in the Leinster senior football semi-final brought back those nostalgic memories. Shane, a proud Meath man, had been telling anyone who would listen that the glory days were just around the corner for the Royal County. While there was no trophy on the line, the win instilled a newfound belief in Robbie Brennan and his players, setting the stage for future success. Meath's triumph serves as a reminder of one of sport's most captivating traits, the unpredictability of the game. Dublin was the clear favorite, while Meath was seen as the underdog. Yet, the match unfolded in a way that defied expectations. Now, as Leinster prepares to host Northampton Saints in the Champions Cup semi-final at the Aviva Stadium this Saturday evening, the focus shifts. It's not just about the odds or the labels, it's about the integrity of performance. Leinster is favored by 21 points, but does Northampton care? Not at all. They're coming in with a mindset of determination, ready to challenge the odds. Leinster and Northampton share a storied rivalry, with the Irish province winning 8 of their last 9 encounters, including the memorable 2011 Heineken Cup final. However, many of those matches were fiercely contested, like last year's nail-biter at Croke Park, where Leinster barely escaped with a 20-17 victory. I remember our first clash with Northampton back in October 2000, when they were the reigning European champions. They jumped to an 18-point lead in just 19 minutes, but we clawed our way back to win 40-31, and I even scored a rare hat-trick. We effectively ended their title defense, although neither team advanced from the pool that year. But the match that stands out most in my memory is the 2 pool games we played against them in 2013, just a week apart. We went to Franklin's Gardens and delivered a stunning 40-7 performance. Yet, when we returned home the following week, everything felt different. The atmosphere in the changing room was too relaxed, too comfortable. Despite a rousing pre-match speech, complacency crept in unnoticed. From the first whistle, Northampton took control. George North scored an early try, and we struggled to regain our footing. When a team isn't mentally prepared, chaos ensues, passes go astray, decisions falter, and the result slips away. Northampton may not have been the better team on paper, but with players like Courtney Laws, Luther Burrell, and North, they had the talent to challenge us. Adjusting a team's mindset mid-game is one of the toughest tasks, and often, frantic energy leads to disorder rather than control. This weekend, on paper, it seems like a straightforward match for Leinster, especially given their impressive form in the competition and their knockout victories over Harlequins and Glasgow Warriors. However, for the first time this season, the outcome may hinge less on their defense or attack and more on their mentality. The biggest risk is underestimating Northampton based on past performances. History has shown that sometimes, a team only needs a slight opening to capitalize. Northampton nearly took advantage of such moments in 2011, and Leinster left the door wide open in 2013, almost paying the price again last year. This time, Northampton boasts players who can disrupt Leinster's rhythm. Henry Pollock will bring energy at the breakdown. Tommy Freeman adds pace in the back 3, and Finn Smith is steering the ship at out half, looking every bit a potential Lions selection. Northampton will aim to throw Leinster off their game, both individually and as a unit, trying to break the flow that allows the Irish province to dominate. In a match like this, it could all come down to individual moments, and Northampton has enough talent to deliver them. For Leinster, the challenge is clear: get the mindset right, and the body will follow. Anything less could lead to a stark introduction to the unpredictable nature of sport.